Across the back line, number 5, Kia McCullough, number 8, Karina Rodriguez, and number 19, JC Peterson. They have 5 players in the midfield, number 7, Annika Rodriguez, number 13, Viviana Villacorta, number 14, Olivia Athens, number 17, Delaney Sheehan, and number 23, Marley Canales. Up top, number 2, Ashley Sanchez, and number 12, Sunny Dunphy. They're a young team, no seniors in the starting lineup. On the opposite side, for Florida, they have 6 seniors in the starting lineup, and they have a really strong squad out on the pitch tonight.
So for the Gators, they're in the blue tops with the blue shorts. UCLA in the white tops and the white shorts. UCLA comes in 2-0, while Florida, losers of 2 straight, dropping from the 5th to the 22nd ranking after falling in 1-0 fashion last weekend to first Ohio State and then Oklahoma State in Stillwater in the 103rd minute. UCLA has possession towards our left, so glad you can join us on the Gator IMG Sports Network and also for those watching on the SEC Network Plus. Here is Parker Roberts getting the start in the midfield as the Gators defend the end towards our left. UCLA will defend the end towards our right. UCLA coming off a 2-1 win at Penn State, 3rd-ranked Penn State. They will go on to face 4th-ranked Florida State on Sunday. USC is playing at Florida State here tonight, so both of the teams will flip spots on Sunday as USC will come here to Gainesville on Sunday. UCLA possession in the attacking third. Karina Baltrip-Reyes steps in front and knocks away the feed intended for Ashley Sanchez as Florida will possess in their defensive half, again operating left to right.
Florida playing a 3-5-2 lineup tonight across the back line. You've got Julia Lester, Rachel Smith, and Karina Baltrip-Reyes. The midfield of Wilson, Sapone, Roberts, Solis, and Tricoli. Up top, Monteagudo and Alexander.
UCLA possession in their attacking half as Monteagudo trips up a Bruin trying to charge into the attacking half. Delaney Sheehan, the one who was knocked down, will present a free kick right of center coming up for the Bruins, who had a controversial game winner against Penn State this past weekend. Delaney Sheehan had the game winner, lofted it towards the goal mouth. It was caught by the Penn State keeper and then crossed the goal line after video review led to a goal. On a run on the back end was Delaney Sheehan there on the lofting service. On one hop scooped up by Kaylin Marquise, and Florida will possess in a scoreless match as we are just about 2 minutes gone by here in the opening 45. Matt mentioned the changes on the defensive back line with Julia Lester at the left outside back spot for Florida, and Sarah Wilson, who really played some good minutes against Oklahoma State, played 49 minutes in Stillwater, will get the start at the right outside back. Wilson, one of those 6 seniors in the Florida starting lineup. UCLA possesses in their defensive half towards our right. Here's number 19, JC Peterson, who maneuvers around Tricoli near left, across the midline with left-footed service towards Sheehan, and plays it back towards Viviana Villacorta. Back across the midline, across the Gator logo, freshly painted here at the Diz, the new home venue for Florida for all home games this year. Ball in the attacking half, pinballs towards center where Sarah Tricoli knocks it down. Solis off the ball was knocked down with no whistle, and Florida settles it on the back line towards Baltrip-Reyes. Still scoreless as we're just about 3 minutes gone by here in the opening 45. Wilson near right trying to maneuver around Villacorta. Loses possession, brilliant backheel pass from Sanchez, who connects with JC Peterson left to the 18. A left-footed cross is easily clear with the left foot of Rachel Smith, the center back for the Gators towards the midfield logo.
Well, one thing I'm seeing right now, Kyle, is that Florida are trying to play a 3-5-2, but at the moment they're flattening out too much defensively. There's not a release pass for Florida. There's beautiful skill on this near sideline by Peterson in conjunction with her teammates. Sanchez get into the attacking third. Good defensive work by Florida, but they've got to do better as far as getting the outlet pass to a blue shirt.
JC Peterson moving towards the back line. Service inside the 18 for Sanchez. Out is Marquise, who bobbles and does recollect off a second effort. Ashley Sanchez almost knocked it in with the left foot, but fortunate for Florida, Marquise does corral.
Well, Becky Burley was talking about taking care of the details. And Marquise, Johnny on the spot as far as getting off her line, but she's got to make sure of her handling. A little lucky there that Sanchez was not a little bit more aware of what was going on inside the penalty area.
Both these teams playing on a wet surface. It poured on 2 separate occasions right before we were just about to get started. The rain has since gone away. Blue skies overhead. Wilson near right for Florida drills it towards the attacking half where Madison Alexander has it slid away. Good defensive play by Kaya McCullough, who is one of the top defenders on this UCLA team. Kaya McCullough is on the Mac Herman watch list, one of 4 UCLA Bruins on that list this year. Played the full 90 minutes in the first 2 matches for the Bruins. Wins over Long Beach State and Penn State. Race across the midline. Does get service towards Roberts, who's promptly knocked down right of center with no whistle. UCLA wanted a handball as it went up towards shoulder height on Roberts. Tries to funnel it back towards Wilson. And UCLA possesses towards our right in their defensive half.
Our referee tonight, Amber O'Connor, saying no foul on Parker Roberts. And her assistant on this nice near sideline, Alicia Messer, said there was no handball. So I think everything is a wash as far as the 2 teams are concerned. The other officials are Janessa Gunn and the 4th official, Jasmine Palata, tonight.
And the officials late to the party tonight with some traffic on I-75 around Gainesville. So what was supposed to be a 7 o'clock start pushed back to 7:30. So both these teams essentially came out to the field getting set to warm up on their regular times and then got pushed back, and both teams had to go back to their respective locker rooms. No score. 5.5 gone by in the opening 45. Reyes with a long ball from far to near. Right flank towards Wilson. Angles it back to ball trip Reyes in the defensive half, middle third. Rachel Smith seeing the start at the center back position here tonight. Good defense backside from Annika Rodriguez, and UCLA off and running. Here's Ashley Sanchez. Chips it wide of Annika Rodriguez and trickles towards Marquise, about 12 yards out from goal. Marquise wearing the orange goalkeeper uniform tonight. Gators in the all blues.
Florida need to get the ball quicker out to these wide players. Baltrop Reyes sent the ball out to Sarah Wilson, but the pass was on about 5 seconds earlier than it was released.
Ball towards center for Olivia Athens. Gets it towards Rodriguez, then knocked away at the top of the 18. All that off a Florida turnover. Now the Gators try to possess left to right. It's Tessa Bone seeing her second start of the season. Can't corral. Good slide tackle across the way. Marley Canales was the one there defensively as Lester angles it back towards Marquise, and Florida settles on their back line far side.
That pass will drive Alan Kirk up nuts. And was able to go to practice on Wednesday. His parting comment for the players was, make sure you put some spice on the passes. Get it to your players. They're good. Make them good by delivering a ball they can deal with. Sarah Tricoli on that occasion, square ball was undercooked.
And historically, that is something this team has been so good fundamentally at. It's just been connected passes, and that's the one thing, especially last weekend, that we saw was lacking at times against Ohio State and Oklahoma State. Here's Tricoli. Can't get the service from Roberts. Angles back towards the UCLA defensive half where J.C. Peterson knocks it down with the left foot and chips it towards Ashley Sanchez near side. Ball trip Reyes there once again. Sarah Wilson trying to navigate towards center. Slid across the midline for Madison Alexander. Gators trying to get numbers forward. Now it's Lester with Green in front on the back line, left to right. Angles it wide left. Mel Monteagudo seeing another start in her senior season. This is her 4th of the campaign. Slides it up towards Sapone. Angles it towards center, towards Tricoli. Funnels it towards the Gator logo. It's Solis, wide right to Parker Roberts. In her junior season, the transfer from Kansas goes from near to far, left flank. Julia Lester, again, seeing her first start here tonight after seeing expanded minutes against Oklahoma State. She's been nursing an injury to start the year. Now it's Roberts inside the 18 for Alexander with the right-footed shot near post, and it's scooped up by Tegan Micah.
Well, the first shot tonight goes to Florida. That was a nice run from Alexander. The ball led her away from the near post as we look at the goal. She did really well to turn her hip and get that ball on target. Would have challenged the goalkeeper, Micah, if it had been across the face of goal towards the far post. You can't fault the sophomore for her effort getting into the 18 and making the goalkeeper work in these tough conditions.
Certainly one thing we've seen from Madison Alexander as this now her sophomore season continues to progress, the confidence in her runs. That was something that Sarah Tricoli had said in the preseason. Alexander's teammate, just a lot more confidence for number 14 in orange and blue. Lester on the back line for Florida, taps it towards Marquise, and the Gators settle their defensive third. Lester will move it up left to right on this natural grass surface here in Gainesville. Ball knocked out, far side throw in defensive third for Julia Lester and the Gators.
So important for Florida. They are such a technically gifted team, probably one of the most technically gifted teams I've seen here in Gainesville. They just have to trust each other, make those passes count, especially in the defensive half. They cannot afford to have turnovers. against this really good Bruin team.
Last year, this was a Bruins offense that was second in goals in the Pac-12 with 56. They trailed Stanford, who had 91 last year. Of course, Stanford was the eventual national champion. Florida, of course, had success against Stanford last year, won 3-2 on this field, a game winner from Lais Adaruju. But the two dominant teams in the Pac-12, when you talk about that conference, it's Stanford and it's UCLA, and it's been consistent since really the formation of the Pac-12, formerly the Pac-10. Here's Alexander across the midline. Man on the far side, Kaya McCullough there defensively. Alexander tried to prod it free and gets tapped back towards center back, Karina Rodriguez. UCLA has been on the road for a while now. We mentioned they played Penn State last weekend and will play Florida State on Sunday. They had a chance to go to Amanda Cromwell's vacation home in Maryland, kind of pass the time before they had to come to Florida to play this game here tonight, so had some team bonding activities leading up to this one. Rachel Smith taps it out, defensive half for Florida, deep throw in, the attacking half for UCLA. 34.5 for a scoreless first half. Throw in towards Ashley Sanchez, who taps it to J.C. Peterson, trying to spin off pressure. It was number 14, Olivia Athens. There defensively, Brianna Solis.
I think Becky Bowley will be pretty happy with what she's seen from the team defensively up to this point.
Now wide Ashley Sanchez, wide left to the 18. Taps it back on the left flank. Athens with the right foot service towards Peterson. The Sanchez met by a double, looking for a teammate, slicing left to the 18. It's Rodriguez. The centering ball is cleared away by Lester. On the center was J.C. Peterson, but that is cleared out for what will be a UCLA corner coming up. Now Gators down inside the goal mouth.
See who the player is. It might be Monteagudo.
Near post to Gators down. Does look like Monteagudo, who had a great start opening weekend to her senior campaign as Connie Andrews, the trainer, comes out.
Referee has stopped the clock, waved the athletic training staff on. Becky Burley makes her way out. Ball was played down this near sideline. Clever play from UCLA in combination. J.C. Peterson got to the end line, played the ball across. I thought it was Lester that played the ball out for the corner kick. Monteagudo was in the area.
So Monteagudo still down, being looked at by the trainer, and that really has been a storyline for this Florida team coming into the year, the amount of injuries they had coming in game number one, and it's tough if Melis could miss time. We don't know what the injury is, don't want to speculate, but to lose a senior presence like that, certainly today in a match like this, is certainly difficult.
Especially as well as she has been playing. And a team that is already struggling for speed. With Mel Monteagudo's fleet of footness. That will be missed on the outside flank. She's up and moving.
Good thing is she's walking essentially under her own power. Does have her right arm on the left shoulder of Connie Andrews.
A slight limp to her gait.
Smile on her face as Sarah Wilson smacks hands with Monteagudo, works herself towards the near side. So far for the Gators, one shot, that coming from Madison Alexander. It's a nice opportunity early, and of course, Becky Burley in the pregame conversation had said that's something that we lacked against Oklahoma State. We simply didn't have enough chances to try and win a game, as Lais Adaruju comes in for the injured Mel Monteagudo.
Not a bad sub to have in your pocket. But now is a challenge for Florida. The injury stoppage time, it is a corner kick. They have to make sure that they focus defensively. Group of Bruins right at the top of the box.
Will be Sanchez on the corner towards the 6. Catch made by Kaylin Marquise.
Marquise will love services like that all day long. Thank you very much. Put it exactly where I can catch it, and nobody from the white shirt can get to it.
Kaylin Marquise comes in third for career shutouts at the University of Florida, 5 back of the top spot, held by Katie Frayne and Taylor Burke with 27 career shutouts. Marquise with 22. Has yet to record one this year. There's UCLA on the counterattack. Delaney Sheehan dribbles towards the top of the 18, pivots on Sapone. and plays for a trailing teammate. Here's Sonny Dumphy from the back line, got cut off by Parker Roberts. Loose ball to Tricoli. Goes out wide. Right side, Sarah Wilson with the right-footed service to Alexander. Shields off the defender amidst the clutter towards Tricoli. Fans it out, Wilson with the eyes up. Long ball on the ground to Alexander on the run. Was cut off by McCullough, who parachutes it away near side, attacking half for Florida. They will throw in it in a scoreless match.
Offense starts off. Defense starts offense for Florida on that occasion. That's exactly what the team's been working on this week in practice. Once your line is penetrated, double down and work hard as a midfielder to win the ball back. That's exactly what Roberts and Sapone did.
Off the throw in, UCLA promptly wins it. Olivia Athens with possession for UCLA. Led by Amanda Cromwell in her sixth season, all-time 87, 20, and 11. As head coach of the Bruins, won a national championship in her first season as head coach in 2013, defeated Florida State, and of course got back to the national title game last year. It was a 3-2 loss to Stanford. It's Olivia Athens with a long service left to the 18, getting cut off. Annika Rodriguez by Wilson, clears it out with the right foot near side, and the attacking third, and the flag is up. So will be Florida possession.
It is an offside call. I like that from Sarah Wilson. She tracked the run really nicely and then was decisive on her clearance. Out of bounds for what would have been a throw-in had Rodriguez not strayed into an offside position. Like what I've seen from Ashley Sanchez. She's got a lovely touch on the ball. Quick down this near sideline for UCLA. Good player for the Bruins.
Ashley Sanchez, a Matt Kerman watch list player for one of the. That award goes to the top player in all of women's college soccer at year's end. Had a goal against Penn State only a few minutes after coming off the bench. Had a takeaway, a 1v1 with the keeper, and was able to put it away for UCLA. That 2-1 win. J.C. Peterson left flank, taps it to a trailing Villacorta. Goes to center, Canales, lays it towards the edge of the center circle. McCullough from the back line. Will fan it out towards the far side. Lais, newly checked in defensively, gets the right cleat on it. Keeps it in play in the defensive third. And fans it back to Julia Lester. Promptly met by Annika Rodriguez. It's Lais who lofts it towards the middle third.
That turnover previously on this near sideline, Kyle, was so frustrating. Waltrop Reyes and Sarah Wilson passed the ball backwards and forwards between each other half a dozen times, but there was no movement ahead of them. There was no blue shirt trying to make themselves available at the top of the defensive half for Florida, and consequently, UCLA just closed down defensively, won the ball cheaply right at the start of their attacking third. Florida are fortunate enough that they were able to get the ball back off of Araujo on the far sideline. You've got to make the decision, make the run, make yourself available. But as a defender, force the issue. Clear the ball as far as you can up the pitch. Maybe you can win the second or third opportunity, which is what happened with Araujo on the far sideline. Ball was headed by the Bruins, but then Tess Sapone was able to get possession on the second ball.
Here's Parker Roberts, right of center. Still no score inside 30 minutes left for the opening half in Gainesville. Ball along the Florida back line. Rachel Smith curls it out towards Julia Lester. Gators coming off that 1-0 loss to Oklahoma State in the 103rd minute. Mentioned Lais Araujo, one of those players that played 100 minutes in that match in the splintering heat. Roberts, a long ball from left to right near side. It's Brianna Solis. Right flank, and the ball gets cleared along the UCLA back line. Karina Rodriguez with the clearance to Reyes, who veers it towards Rachel Smith, the center back. So the one opportunity for Florida in this first half came early. Madison Alexander with the shot near post inside the 18. The only shot in this match so far. This is the 8th all-time meeting between Florida and UCLA. They last met in 2016. It was a 4-3 Florida Gator win on the road. Last time these two teams met in Gainesville, you have to go back to the year 2000. It was a Bruin 4-0 win. Whistle, and the flag is up as the ball was cleared by Marquise. Offside on UCLA. Will be a Florida free kick coming up.
Annika Rodriguez straying offside once again. Good solid defensive line by Florida, making sure that they step up when they have to.
There's Karina Rodriguez, parachutes towards the near side to Parker Roberts, heads it to McCullough with that black knee brace on her left knee. And glad you can join us on the Gator IMG Sports Network. Also, for those watching on the SEC Network Plus, we have a scoreless match and a top 25 matchup. This is the first of 3 straight top 10 teams that the Gators will play in their next 3. We'll have 7th-ranked USC on Sunday, and then coming up Florida State next week, who right now is 4th in the nation. They're playing USC tonight. Ball played from right to left, across the field to Annika Rodriguez, left of center. Veering towards the Gator logo, looking for Ashley Sanchez, but couldn't track it down, and aimlessly rolls across the far right end line. For Marquise will have a goal kick for the Gators.
Sanchez is quick, but she's not that quick.
Ashley Sanchez has some sort of taping on her right hand. The sophomore, native of California, was in her freshman season. Last year scored 6 goals, had 12 assists. That was a freshman record at UCLA and was 4th all-time in terms of assists in a single season in program history with those 12 assists. Tallied 24 points last year. Again, a big challenge for the Bruins without Haley Mace, without Jessie Fleming, both away due to national team duties, and also for the Gators without their top attacking threat, Deanne Rose. Jessie Fleming and Deanne Rose both play on the Canadian national team, so they're away playing Brazil in a friendly. So UCLA without 2 first-team All-Americans. Gators without the SEC Freshman of the Year from a season ago. Right side in the attacking half, it's Alexander. Slides it free of J.C. Peterson towards Solis. 2-girl game, it's Alexander knocked down. A whistle does come right of center in the attacking half. Contact courtesy of Marley Canales, as Alexander the one who was knocked down.
Parker Roberts is on top form tonight. She's involved in everything. Her passes are crisp. Her passes are firm and getting to the target. Her teammates around her need to make sure that they watch the way Roberts is playing and learn a lesson of how to deliver the ball. This is a great moment for Florida with Solis on the free kick. Maybe they can get a scoring opportunity if this ball is delivered well into the box.
Solis from the right flank, 2 hands in the air with a 4-step approach. The high arching kick towards the back post, towards the penalty spot. Tricoli got a head on it. And 1 hop goes to Tegan Micah with the black keeper uniform on for UCLA and whips it out of trouble towards J.C. Peterson.
Disappointing runs in the box. The service wasn't too bad. Like to see it maybe a 2-step deeper into the penalty area. Really, there was no one there offering themselves as a target for Solis.
Solis, who's taken most of the set pieces this year for Florida, especially corners. Ball on the midline. Tricoli Solis, along with Olivia Athens, trying to win it away. It's tapped out, last touch UCLA, so Sarah Wilson will throw in front of the Gator bench.
Again, the skill of Sanchez with a clever backheel flick with her right foot, almost waist height. Beautifully done by her.
Off the throw in, Solis clips it off. Sanchez goes out once again, so Wilson will throw in right at the midline for Florida. Scoreless match inside 24.5 for the opening 45. It's Julia Lester on the left flank. Angling towards the center of the field. She has plenty of speed. The green grass closes and gets tapped away in the midfield. Delaney Sheehan got knocked down along with Lester, but loose ball for Lais Aderuju. Aderuju, amidst the stadium lighting on the left flank, circles back out and safely gets it towards Lester. Lester on the left side from far to near, long service, easily taken away by the speedy Sanchez with green grass in front, right to left. Service into the final third, looking for Annika Rodriguez, left of the penalty box. Getting a foot on it was Rachel Smith, and goes out for a UCLA corner, but that long service across the field is what set all of that up.
Yeah, I don't know what Lester was thinking about at that point in time. Caught between 2 stalls. Corner taken quickly.
So the short corner for Ashley Sanchez, plays it from left to right on a cross. And Roberts is there on the far side for Florida. That's what Becky Burley talks about, the details, and all those things factor in, especially against a team like UCLA that will capitalize and almost did on the other end.
Felt like Lester didn't know whether she wanted to play the ball out this near sideline to Wilson or all the way up to Parker Roberts, and in the end it fell between neither.
Olivia Athens wanted a handball on Parker Roberts. The top of the UCLA attacking third, and Florida goes the other way with it, far side left to right. It's Lais Adaruju, checked in for the injured Mel Monteagudo in this first half. Now Lais goes long from far to near right of center, works past Solis and trickles towards Wilson.
Beautiful header there from Solis, just the deftest of flicks for the forehead to get the ball out to Wilson. But the Gators unable to keep clean possession on this near sideline, but it does go off out of bounds for a throw-in to Florida.
And the one thing I noticed, and we've kind of talked about this, is how active Ashley Sanchez is defensively. Always seems to be around the ball in this first half.
Always around the ball. Creative going forwards. Plays really well. Talented player. Substitution for Florida. Solis is out. Sammy Betters is in. Adaruju will come back into one of the holding midfield positions alongside Roberts and Tessapone.
Sammy Betters going into the midfield. But Lester, the left outside back with it.
Some speed on that left side now for Florida. They won't be able to exploit it unless passes are made better than that from Lester.
Ball trickles inside the 18. Roberts with the left foot does get it out wide. Almost a dangerous moment inside the penalty box for Annika Rodriguez and UCLA.
Left an Alan Kirkup-sized divot there. I say his golf divot, not the size of Alan Kirkup.
Alan Kirkup in his 13th season, assistant head coach of Becky Burley in her 24th year. Vic Campbell also assistant head coach in his 24th season. John Roman in his third year working with the goalkeepers.
Beautifully done by Roberts. Great skill to receive that pass on the half turn. Get herself up the pit, finding out Adaruju. Adaruju combining with Lester and now Betters, trying to get the ball into the attacking half of Florida.
Just north of 21 minutes left for the opening 45. Still no score between the Gators and Bruins. Lais Adaruju left of center across the midline with the right-footed long service to Sammy Betters. Deep in the left corner. Met there defensively by Sonny Dunphy, and a flag goes up near side, offside on Sammy Betters. Looked like she was stride for stride with Dunphy. Free kick for UCLA.
Well, I agree with the spectators in front of her asking the question, how? To me, Sammy Betters was in an onside position when that ball was played. It was a delicious ball played down that far channel by Adaruju. Just such great vision for such passes.
So still scoreless inside 20 and a half for the first. Delaney Sheehan was a big part of that run last year for UCLA to the national title game. Was second among freshmen with 5 goals, 13 points. Scored the tying goal against Stanford in the national championship game. The Bruins were down 2-0 in that national title game. UCLA on the counterattack, right to left. Long ball from Sonny Dunphy inside the 18. Olivia Athens can't track it down. Nice ball on the right flank from Dunphy. Athens tried to slide one and redirect on frame. Goes over the left end line for a Florida goal kick.
Good ball in by UCLA. Dunphy just couldn't get on the end of it. Marley Canales, midfielder, just directing traffic, pointing out to that far sideline. That's where she wanted the ball played. It was. The ball played in by. It was a good one.
Still no scores. We hit 19 minutes left here in the opening half. Julie Hernandez has checked in for UCLA. Roberts, middle of the field, left to right in the defensive half. Brilliant slide tackle by Annika Rodriguez. Angles it towards Baltrip Reyes. Now it's Lais Adaruju again playing a new position this year. The holding midfield. Baltrip Reyes to Wilson, seeing her first start. Promptly had it taken away by J.C. Peterson. Ashley Sanchez, left flank. Wheels one out, wide left, J.C. Peterson. Her right foot across, deflects off the waist of Wilson. Headed towards the 18. And volleyed away by Parker Roberts for an in-stride Sarah Tricoli.
Alexander working hard to get to the strong side of the field, but that was a stride too far for her. But those balls that Peterson just intercepted, just too easy by Florida. Again, too many passes on this near sideline. Peterson just stepping up, saying, if you're going to play like that, I will poach one from you. Baltrip Reyes or Wilson, they have to make the decision to go long with the ball.
Brilliant pass from Tricoli towards Wilson. Does deflect off of Villacorta back to Tricoli. Met by a double along the touchline. Wilson goes off her right foot. Will they say last touch UCLA? They will, so Wilson will throw in.
And again, an illustration of my point. You've got 2 or 3 Gators there, surrounded by 3 or 4 Bruins. That play is going nowhere. At some point, the player who's looking up the field has to deliver that ball down into the corner, allow Alexander the chance to run onto it, and put some pressure on the Bruins. Make them face their own net.
Still scoreless, inside 17.5 for the first. Lais Aderuju bends one from far to near. It's Sarah Wilson. With the right foot, tumbles one to Tricoli, angles it back towards Parker Roberts. Long ball left to right, Alexander. Can't track it down, and Tegan Micah inside the 18 has it for UCLA.
That I like. Get Bruins facing Micah. Ball skipped off of the damp surface, though, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Ball should have been played wider to the outside channels from Roberts, but the thought was there.
So far in this first half, Matt, what do you think about just the overall play? Does it seem like UCLA has just dominated possession here in this first half?
Oh, not at all. I think it's been a pretty even game, but UCLA have had the more dangerous possession getting into their attacking half. Florida, I think, will be pretty satisfied with the way they've played in this first 30 minutes or so, if they can continue to keep UCLA off the scoreboard.
Service inside the 18, Ashley Sanchez. Contact with Reyes, and it's cleared by Sarah Wilson. Looks like this is going to be a deep throw-in. Collision between Sanchez and Reyes.
I would prefer it if Florida didn't give up good goal-scoring opportunities the moment I compliment their defense, because that's the second time it's happened this half.
UCLA just opening up a new stadium, Wallace Annenberg Stadium. Had a chance to play their opener there against Long Beach State. Scored in the 90th minute. One way to get it started in a brand new stadium if you're the Bruins.
Be a little more exciting than Amanda Romwell wanted it to be.
Throw in for J.C. Peterson, the attacking half for UCLA near side. Throws it amidst the crowd for Sheehan amidst 3 Gators. Flex towards the corner, goes out. Will be Florida possession. Becky saying this week after the 2 losses to Oklahoma State and Ohio State that the 11 seniors on this roster putting together a senior-only meeting, kind of take it upon themselves to change the direction of this 2018 season. And still within the top 25, 22nd in the nation, but disappointing in 2 1-0 results against very good Ohio State and Oklahoma State teams, but just had the sense in both games that Florida, for large stretches, did have the run of play in both games.
Ohio State were a very good team. They had not necessarily a poor opening weekend when they were playing against top 10 opposition their opening weekend, but I don't think that they were getting the plaudits that they deserve, and consequently Florida almost feels like they were in free fall as far as the rankings are concerned. Oh, Roberts had Betters streaking down that left sideline, but didn't see her.
Wilson got shoved down after she cleared it back towards Reyes. Extra shove from Annika Rodriguez. That's the audible groans you hear from the fans near side. Marquise settles out from goal. Long service to Betters, left side in the defensive half. Jets one on the ground. Lais Aderuju eyes up for Sapone, who saw the start tonight. Freshly painted Gator logo. Whips it wide right. Wilson promptly had it taken away by Peterson. Sanchez on the counterattack for UCLA. Enveloped by 4 defenders, slides it towards the 18. Good defense. Getting back was Julia Lester. Poor clearance. Does go towards Sapone. On the run was Julia Hernandez for UCLA. And only 1 shot this first half came from Madison Alexander. Near post save from Tegan Micah.
Hands up an apology from Tess Sapone. She knows that ball should have been played to Alexander's feet. Great work from Lester defensively, but then the decision on the clearance was a poor one. I say these comments understanding that these players are so much more skilled than I ever was. My first decision was up and out and as far away from me as I could possibly kick it. There is a marrying of the two areas of the game that you can come up with as Lindley checks in. Wilson, who looked very tired in the last couple of moments, steps out.
Really played some good minutes, as Sarah Wilson, as Cassidy Lindley, the freshman, comes in. After the opening weekend, Cassidy Lindley had a goal and 3 assists, leading to an SEC Freshman of the Week. Tricoli to Lindley, right flank, near the SEC painted logo. J.C. Peterson promptly stepping in front. Matt saw betters on that left side who may have had some open green grass for Florida. Instead, electing to go near side was Tricoli. Lindley got cut off. Gators angle it all the way back to Kalen Marquise. Fairly even matchup so far. We have 12:15 left for the first half. Ball slid through to Rachel Smith. A defensive half collected in stride off the service. It's Alexander. Gators trying to use the width. It's Better's left side. Inside the touchline. Diagonal ball to Alexander. Had 3 goals last year in her freshman season. Had 2 goals the opening weekend. One against Washington was the game winner. Also scored against Florida Atlantic. First time in her collegiate career scoring in back-to-back games. She's had the duty of trying to fill in without Deanne Rose. Again, at the Canadian national team, Laisa's service wide for Betters. As UCLA trying to win it in the midfield. Gets tapped out. Last touch by Viviana Villacorta. Throw in, attacking at far side for Florida.
Again, the pass just didn't have enough pace on it to get out to Betters, but that was an improvement from Florida. But they are struggling to get the ball forwards on the counterattack when they have their opportunities. They've played a lot of defense in this first half, played it well. But when you're chasing the ball, making sure that you get players around the ball defensively, bringing forwards and getting wide on offense is extremely difficult. Betters is open on the far sideline. If Smith chooses to go that way, she goes down the middle, trying to find Alexander.
Cleared on the back line by McCullough. Deflects towards Sapone in that midfield. It's Canales. Tried to head one away and played along the back line to J.C. Peterson. Alan Kirkup coming into this game, Florida associate head coach, had said that individually, this is one of the best teams talent-wise that you're going to find in the nation. We mentioned Stanford. Of course, when you come in as the second-ranked team in the nation, that's going to be the case. Again, without 2 of their best players, and Jessie Fleming and Haley Mace. But down this roster individually, you're not going to find many more talented players than what Amanda Cromwell has at UCLA. The tradition of excellence for the Bruins. Last won the Pac-12 in 2014. Stanford has won it every year since 2014. Here's Tricoli right of center. Slides it wide of Sapone amidst the clutter. Villacorta goes left of center to Sanchez. Errant look for her teammate. Tap back to Reyes in the Florida defensive half. Gators have it on the back line. Green grass in front for Julia Lester. 9.5 left for the opening 45. Still no score. Better's a long diagonal ball to Alexander. Is headed out of danger by Karina Rodriguez. Deflects to Lais. Towards center, Tricoli. Spins towards her right. Slides it right to Sapone. Eyes up for a trailing Lindley. Wide right flank. Lindley charging in towards the 18. 1v1. Met by a defender. Second defender trailing along the touchline. Plays it off the shins of Delaney Sheehan, who controls possession for UCLA.
Like to have seen Lindley just serve that ball in first time. It was a nicely weighted pass out to this near sideline. Lindley could have just clipped that ball in. There were players waiting at the far post, but there was a better attack from Florida. Good crisp passing with rhythm up the pitch.
The throw in middle third for UCLA in their defensive half. And only one shot this first half with 8:40 left. Throw in near Tess Sapone. Goes towards the feet of Chloe Castaneda. Plays it off a Gator, goes out. Will be a throw in for J.C. Peterson and the Bruins.
That was great work from Sapone, closing down defensively really quickly. On the flip side, UCLA doing a really good job not giving up on the plate, making sure that they got to the ball before it went out of bounds and won the throw-in. Is now deep in Florida's attack defensive third. UCLA's attacking third. Peterson strides forward, perhaps to take the throw.
No Ashley Sanchez on the field right now for UCLA. Coming off a much-needed rest for her. Has been active throughout this first half. Throw in for UCLA deep in their attacking third towards our left. Body scattered inside the 18. A lofted toss near left side of the 18. Was off of Reyes and clipped back in play by Rachel Smith along the end line. Lindley along with the Bruin try to fight for it near side. Last touch Lindley will be a throw in a similar spot for the Bruins.
UCLA trying a long throw in, looking for Hernandez, who manhandles ball trap Reyes, but it falls to Lindley to clear the danger. Sapone has it.
Through ball for Sapone towards center. Sarah Tricoli dribbling forward. Gets it away to Alexander, left of center. Whips it wide, left side. Lais in the attacking half. Long ball, Alexander, left flank, met by Kaya McCullough, who chips it away with the right foot towards Sammy Betters in the midfield. Now in the attacking half, Tricoli slides in amidst the traffic. Again, looking for Alexander. Stepping in front was that UCLA back line. Sonny Dumphy, who stepped in front. Keeps possession for the Bruins with 6:45 left for the opening 45.
Every time Florida plays that ball long and at the UCLA back line, Florida have found a way to win the possession on the second ball. Haven't been able to do anything with it as yet, but it's something that they should learn from and maybe take into the locker room at halftime. If they play that ball early against UCLA's back three, they put them under pressure and they aren't able to get good possession out of the clearances.
Throw in towards Lester, rolls it towards Marquise. Clearance with the left foot. Towards center, Rodriguez dribbling towards the penalty arc, veering left. Rodriguez slides one inside the 18, left side ball trip. Reyes there defensively, who cuts off a potential run. Delaney Sheehan, the one who went on the run. Reyes will clear, and again, UCLA throws in deep in their attacking third.
Florida doesn't have a lot of speed in their midfield, but they've got it in spades on their back line. Ball-trap Reyes, Rachel Smith, and Julia Lester are very, very quick. Great closing speed.
Ball dangles just outside the 6, cleared by Betters, near side to Alexander. Stepping in front, J.C. Peterson keeps it in the attacking third. Flicks it towards Hernandez, trying to redirect with the header, and skitters to Marquise.
Talking about speed, Peterson is really quick too. Closing speed there.
Still a scoreless match, 5:20 for the first half. Parker Roberts, long ball again, wide left at Sammy Betters. Running 1v1 with Sonny Dumphy, who knocks down Betters, no whistle. Ball does trickle out. Betters saying it should be Florida possession, but it's not. UCLA will throw in.
I think Amber O'Connor, our official in the middle tonight, made the right decision. That was no foul against UCLA. Player on her haunches for the Bruins. Referee stopped play.
Like Villacorta, pitch shaken up, but going back to that prior sequence, it was Roberts who delivered that long service. Again, Matt, right, the right idea to get it downfield.
And sometimes you have to stretch the play. I mean, you look at American sports, you have to have a running game to have a passing game. You have to have an inside presence in basketball to be able to shoot the three-pointer. You know, Florida, they need to find ways to be multi-dimensional. They can't just pass it up the pitch and into the back of the net every time. They have to find ways to stretch the opposition. It might be uncomfortable for the Gators, but if they're able to do that, then I think they'll be more successful.
Sheehan knocked down top of the penalty arc as the Gators clear it towards Madison Alexander. Tricoli, near side. It's a Bruin who slides it out. Looks like it was Annika Rodriguez. Head coach Becky Burley made the catch. And a standing ovation as Courtney Douglas is going to come in. Her second game played this year.
Becky Burley still got her goalkeeping chops. Been a while since she's played in goal.
Lais Hadaruju trying to spin off Peterson near right touchline. Florida will throw in again, this time in their attacking half. Still no score, 3:40 left for the first. Douglas throws in towards the SEC painted logo. Missed touch from Sarah Tricoli. Just like that, UCLA on the counterattack.
Nice shape defensively from Florida. Rachel Smith stepping up to the point of the triangle. Both Reyes and Julia Lester coming in to make the base of the triangle defensively, forcing the Bruins backwards. They still have possession at the halfway line, though.
Orly Canales to Kaya McCullough. Mission Viejo, California. steady presence on the back line in her sophomore season with 25 starts. Hernandez, diagonal ball near side. Skitters wide of everyone and goes out over the end line for a Florida goal kick.
Less than 3 minutes to go in the first half, Kyle. So important for Florida now. Becky Burley talked about take care of the details. Make sure that you take care of the details as this first 45 minutes winds down. The Gators have played so well defensively, they have to make sure they finish the job in this first 45 minutes.
Again, with a different look to start on the defensive back line with Parker Roberts in the midfield. Right now, the back line of Courtney Douglas, Rachel Smith, Julia Lester. Or rather, Douglas, Baltrip, Reyes, Smith, and Lester on the back line. Reyes and Smith, the center backs. Douglas and Lester out wide. UCLA striding into their attacking half. Sonny Dumpy plays it towards Rodriguez, who angles it back. And UCLA sets up near side with J.C. Peterson. 2:10 left for the first, no score. Peterson's errant touch was cut off by Lais Adaruju. Peterson looking for Rodriguez. Now it's Lais, who's been active in this first half. Tricoli to Adaruju, right of center. Gators slow things up in the midfield. Roberts chops it down on the service from Reyes with the right foot and redirects far left to Julia Lester.
Frustratingly, Florida had Douglas open on this near sideline. They had Betters open on the far sideline. Adaruju, and Tricoli, and Parker Roberts chose not to use either player.
Roberts this time goes wide near side for Douglas, taps it out off of Bruin and Delaney Sheehan, and will throw in attacking half towards our right inside 90 seconds for the opening half, no score. The throw-in is promptly knocked away by Sheehan to Julia Hernandez, left of center. UCLA trying to attack in the final seconds here in the opening half. Rodriguez chips it from right to left, but nobody home. Rachel Smith plays it center back position for Florida. It's a very humid night here in Gainesville, as you would expect. Last night of August, Rachel Smith. Inside a minute left to Parker Roberts. The Gators are content to go into halftime in a scoreless match.
Well, if they're content, they need to get the ball away from their goal. They're playing along the back line right at the start of their defensive third. Florida needs to get the ball up the pitch and do it so quickly.
Cassidy Lindley playing up top. It's Lais Adaruju, right of center. Eyes up. Lais wide right for Courtney Douglas. Douglas right flank, moving right. Right-footed diagonal ball inside the 18 is chipped out. Looking for Sarah Tricoli, goes back to Douglas, who knees it down to Lais, right side. 15 seconds left for the first. Capone, center of the natural grass surface, veers it towards Tricoli. Right-footed shot, sails over everything. But the right thought on that for Sarah Tricoli, and that should bring us to the end of the opening 45 here in Gainesville.
Another good rhythmic attack for Florida. They've got the two shots in this first 45 minutes, one on frame, that last one from Tricoli, just over the crossbar. But when they've moved the ball quickly, got the ball out wide, they've put the Bruins under pressure. And so far, UCLA haven't found a way through Florida's back line. I think this will be a very satisfied Florida coaching staff heading to the locker room, because what they've seen from their team tonight is something that's been worked on all week in practice, and they've taken it on board of the players and put it on display for the fans this evening.
It's not often that the Florida Gators lose 3 straight. The last time they've done that, you have to go all the way back to September of 2002. So that's on the line tonight for Florida, trying to snap the mini 2-game slide. Good defensive opening 45 against the second team in the land, as the Gators and the Bruins are scoreless here at halftime. Coming up at the half, you'll hear our conversation with Gators graduate senior midfielder Sarah Tricoli. Also, we'll break down all the first half numbers, preview the second half. It's all coming up at the half. Again, our score is we're scoreless between the Gators and the Bruins in a top 25 matchup here from Gainesville, Florida on the Gator IMG Sports Network.
Quakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.